good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are listening to the Stiletto Talks podcast. My name is Paula Hutchinson, and I am your host. And if you have had a chance to review the last segment that we had, which is on Trailblazers Who Lead, we have additional authors today, and of course we have the spearhead on the call today as well. So I first and foremost want to introduce the leader of the pack, Kearn Cherry. Kearn, thank you once again for being on the show.
All right, thank you for having me, Paula. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. And then I quickly want to have everyone to say hello and introduce themselves. So Tanise, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanise McInnes. I'm a licensed clinical social worker who is the CEO and founder of Empowering Minds Counseling and Consulting Services, LLC.
Awesome. Mavis?
Yes, my name is Mavis Creagh. I am the Executive Director of R3SM, which stands for Recover, Rebuild, Restore, Southeast Mississippi, and we respond to disasters. We started after Hurricane Katrina. Also, I am the CEO founder of We Women Ministries, LLC, that bridges the gap between women from different backgrounds all over the world.
Awesome. And last but not least, Shiela.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shiela Farr. I'm from Gulf Coast Training and Education Services here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And what we do is provide personal and professional development for small and large businesses all along our Gulf Coast here in Mississippi.
Awesome. So, again, if you have been following the last segment, we have I'm a part of a book project called Trailblazers Who Lead, which features some incredible women from all over the country coming together to share our truths, our stories, and hopefully we can help to empower you all in whatever area of life you're in. Now, Kearn, again, I want you to share with us again for the second time, but what was your mindset behind putting this project together with so many women?
Well, there's actually altogether 29 of us that are part of this project, led and forward by Gloria Mayfield Banks. And of course, we have Cheryl Wood and Teresa Worrell Brown as guest authors as well. But my thoughts were that, there are many women such as Gloria, Cheryl, and Teresa are doing things out front that people know what they're doing. They see that they have created their platform, and their platform is just, is supported. They have a tribe and all that. But I also know there are many women and men, for that matter, but for this book, all women, that are doing amazing things. And I know last year, like I've often said, that after I finished our conference, Success Women's Conference, which averages over 1,000 women, I just realized that there are so many women that are amazing and they're doing amazing things. But nobody knows, because we have to realize that we need to share our story. So you're doing amazing things. So let's let everybody in the world know what you're doing, because you never know who needs your story. That's the other thing. You never know who's going to get motivated or inspired by what you're doing. It could trigger something else in somebody else to do something that they've been sitting on for years. And so when you hear some of these ladies' stories on what they've done, where they come from, and now where they're at, you'll find that somewhere in there, somebody in the world needed to hear that story. So I wanted to create a platform so that these ladies can share their story. Because to me, stories are testimonies, and they need to be told. That is part of the purpose in life that God has given us. And I want to make sure that for my part, that if I can create opportunity to do that, then I'm going to do that. And it's the other reason that I'm glad many of the Trailblazers are also joining podcasts such as yours, Paula, and talking a little bit about what they're doing and probably adding some other things that they're doing that's not in the book. You know, a chapter is only a small part of who you are. You know, we all have many chapters inside of us that need to be shared.
Awesome. So, well, I think the project is amazing.
Thank you. So, and the project will be out. We're looking late June, maybe early July, but the book signing will be at the conference coming up, Power Up Summit. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, in terms of being in the book, when I think about 29 women, I think the words that come to my thought process are inclusivity and also diversity. So this book has women from ranges of all backgrounds, all ranges of professions, highly inclusive, and then it's racially diverse too. All of us are from many backgrounds, all over the country, different perspectives. And just to that, I want to ask Mavis. So Mavis, what made you hop on board this project?
I was just so inspired by Miss Kearn. I met her for the first time last year at the women's conference. You know, I just thought it would be a networking opportunity, but I saw the heart and spirit of the projects that she does. And so this is my first book project, my first endeavor outside of my normal job. It inspired me, you know, by working with the project to actually officially start my own business. So it really, you know, the spirit and heart to help other women, empower other women is what I really, you know, grasp onto and really lit a fire under me to be a part of this project.
Awesome. And that is so awesome to hear that you have birthed an entire business out of this. And I think that's just amazing that you can say, you know what, this has inspired me to go to the next level and the next level. Being self-inspired, I can't wait to read your chapter because I know that it will inspire all of us to go to another level. Shiela, got a question for you. So, of course, you've taken the time to submit these 1,500 words. And I want to know from you, what can we expect from your chapter?
Well, my chapter really, it's about finding your voice, you know, and kind of encouraging people to not listen to the negative things that we hear from people in their lives and listen really and seek out those people that are leading you in the more positive way. Because I think so many times we rely on other people to validate us and to kind of tell us what our direction should be. But, you know, God's equipped each of us to serve. So this is, I hope that people hear in my chapter more to listen to your internal guidance system that God equipped you with and to surround yourself with those positive people in your life.
That is awesome. And I like that you talked about avoiding negativity. Of course, this year I saw a couple of memes with cancel 2020. We're looking forward to 2021, but we all plan to be alive. So we got to still live through 2020.
That's right.
You hear that all the time. And so I like the fact that you talked about just avoiding the negativity. While there's certainly enough of it to go around, the opposite of negative is positive. And so you want to definitely get around positive people that can encourage you because negativity can really be a heavy load for people too. So I'm looking forward to definitely reading your chapter. So Tanise, want to find out from you, what is the one thing that you want people to really extract from your chapter, to really take home, no matter who it is that reads it?
I think the one message that I hope that gets across to no matter who reads it is that you have to use the experiences in your life to promote you. Use whether it's pain, hardship, baggage, even positive. Use those experiences to move closer toward your passion in life or your purpose in life. And sometimes it takes some of us years to find that passion and purpose. And that's why this project has been so inspiring to be around other women who are actively doing it. And that's encouraging in itself. So I'm hoping whoever reads my chapter will get that, you know, we may have things that happen to us, but that's not who we become. And you just keep praying. You counseling. You seek help. You use self-help and self-care measures and create a better existence.
Awesome. Now, I do want to ask all of you, and I think I'm going to get Kearn to go first, because I know, Kearn, you've been into several projects, you produce events, and I want to find out from you, what did you learn about yourself with this process, having 29 women to be responsible for? And of course, you have fours in here for some of the top thought leaders in the female spectrum in their genre in the nation. Having these women all be a part of your book and bridging the gap between the known and the unknown. What did you learn about yourself during this process?
So the first thing I'm going to say is that, and you've probably heard me say it before, is that I am not a writer by trade. That is not what I felt I've been called to do. But I know I'm a connector, and I know how to help promote people and make things happen. So what I found about myself is that though I've been coaching and doing some mentoring throughout my career, just, being in healthcare over 30 years and putting events together for over 15 years, I realized that, if I pour in more into people on a smaller focused level, I can help people to figure out how to promote themselves on a higher level, to take their gifts that they have been given and to share it out. And I realized that that's one of the things that God wants me to do with the talents that He's given us. As many have said before, we have the Success Women's Conference, and many women have benefited from that. But just to hear somebody like Mavis get inspired during the whole process of creating, doing this book to start her own business, that lets me know that this is something that I was called to do. As I said, I've never felt like I was a writer, but I feel like I've been able to help bring some attention to some of the things that I feel like some of the people have found themselves needing. Several have found a coach while going through some of the things that we have brought as training. Several, like Mavis said, started their own stuff. Several have decided to lift their podcast and their radio and all those shows to another level. So I feel like that's the thing that I was called to do, and I realize more of that now. Those are the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So it really has enlightened me to another process that I need to be doing and focusing on. So anyway, that being said, it's been a great journey, and it's been a great journey watching all these women do something new or take something to a higher level. So I've just been excited about the whole process.
Well, that is amazing. I mean, again, and I keep using the word amazing, but it just is. To go from just a thought process of doing a project like this with so many women to actually seeing it out, carried it out to fruition, and to watch all the other women have their growth through that process is truly an amazing feat. And especially when it just seems like our backs up against the wall with 2020, you're constantly having to climb these new levels and these different levels that we all just did not expect. Because I think everybody had their own interpretation of 2020 going in, and 2020 hit back with its own interpretation of itself. So I think that it's great that you've been able to still through that process, still be able to allow opportunity, time, and space for women to pull out such positivity within themselves. Now, Mavis, I'm going to ask you the same question. I think I'm going to ask it to everybody, so that way they'll have an opportunity to see the different personalities and what everybody learned, because you're going to probably find, audience, that you're going to hear a lot of different takeaways. So Mavis, I want to ask you the same question. What did you learn about yourself during this process?
I learned that I'm more resilient than I thought in the beginning. My my focus on my chapter is triumph over tragedy. And sometimes until you write it down and fully see the full scope of your life and things you've been through over the years to where you are today, you don't fully see the breadth and depth of what you've been through and what the Creator has brought you through. So it really showed me my strength, my resiliency, my tenacity. One of my board members even said, my stick-wittedness, if there isn't a way, I'll find a way. Just because if it's something I believe in, I'll really try to get it done. So really, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I think sometimes as women, we overlook our position and our power and our, strength. And so they really made me reflect on myself that if it's something that the Creator has for me, then it is possible, no matter what the obstacle is. So it just really gave me an affirmation on who I am and whose I am and what I was created to do.
Awesome. Okay, so Shiela, same question. How do you feel like this process has what have you learned the most about yourself during this process?
Well, I think what I really have learned the most is that my true joy comes from serving other people. And I'll tell you, I'm the biggest introvert you will ever meet. So, doing podcasts, interviews, and even really talking in public has not been my thing, even though I love to help people one-on-one. And I love, like Kearn said, I love to be a connector and I love to be a bridge builder. But even just being involved with this project has opened up so many doors and has allowed me to have so many conversations with such a diverse population of people, even people that aren't involved with the project, but people that are on the outside looking in and in anticipation of the book. They're following our podcast, they're following interviews that everybody's doing. And, just listening to stories and helping connect people in a way that I've never been able to do before. It makes me so happy, just to be able to help somebody as I'm listening to everybody's stories, as I'm reading some of the other things that they have written. And I'm thinking of friends or clients that information could help. So I'm like, I need to connect you with this person. I need to help you with this person. You need to talk to this person. And for me, I have had just the best 6 weeks since, becoming just more and more involved in this project, because I've been able to help so many people just overcome just little tiny issues, but big mountains at the same time. So that's been incredibly fun for me. I've had a blast with that.
Awesome. And it's great that you brought up the fact, I know for introverts, this is a big deal to be on podcasts, just talking out loud like this, kind of going out of your comfort zone sometimes. So I congratulate you on being able to do that, because I know that often that's not the easiest thing to do. And then lastly, Tanise, I want to ask Tanise the same thing. What do you feel like you learned about yourself during this process?
Well, what I've learned is that I need to face my fears and to place myself first. I think sometimes when we are in either an education, caregiver, or caregiving role, I've been a social worker for 23 years, and it's part of my daily walk to help others, provide others with resources or information or skills and techniques. But sometimes I find that I need to take those for myself. And so maybe projects as far as writing or as far as getting Empowering Minds totally off the ground have been placed on a shelf throughout the years, probably because I have put others first. And so this particular writing this chapter and being involved with the Trailblazers has put focus on the time is now, and there's no other time to waste. And I have to face those fears and place myself first. And in doing that, then I totally really can help others.
Awesome. You all have just knocked out all of the things that most people struggle with. And of course, facing fears, putting yourself first, finding true joy from serving others, being resilient, triumph over tragedy. Even though Kearn keeps saying she's not a writer, but she is, that she recognizes that her superpower is being a connector. And I think I heard Sheila say the same thing about the connectivity. That's something that I think too. And also I would like to add, like piggyback on top of all of that. It's just a level of sisterhood. You now have this bond with people in sisterhood that you did not have at first, because many of us did not know each other prior to this project. And so now you see that you have a sister in Mississippi, or you got a sister further down the Gulf Coast. You got another one over here. You got another one over there. And I love the connectivity and just the positivity that's happening with the project. And I will say that is another positive takeaway. Like I said, with all that's going on now in 2020, it certainly has been a bright light during this time. Now I have a question. I'm gonna go to Tanise first, and I want to find out from you, how are you preparing for this new visibility that you're going to have, as well as the expanding audience that you're going to have? Because it's coming. You know, you have a project, people start to look you up. You know, you start to see people on your website constantly. So how are you preparing for that visibility and expanding audience?
It has put me into overdrive to get things up and running, to get that website up. And it's funny that you asked that, because last week I consulted with a friend in Georgia, and I told her, I said, hey, I need to add some additional credentialing panels. I need help. And she was like, okay, no problem, for this very reason, because although I am on some credentialing panels, this will definitely open up the door for other individuals to come and seek counseling services. And so I need to be prepared and ready and to be able to accept whatever insurance they have. So it has pushed my efforts into overdrive. It's actually made me focus more on a daily basis and write down checklists. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Whereas before I thought, okay, well, I'll work it in. But this has definitely highlighted the focus of completing tasks and getting it done for that visibility.
Awesome. And then I want to ask the same question, of course, to Sheila. Same question. How are you preparing for this newfound visibility and expanding audience, introvert?
I was going to say, my big struggle is just talking to people. So if I can overcome that, then I'm fine. But I will echo what Tanise says. And I think just kind of making sure that your internet presence is a good one, that everything is consistent and says what you want it to say and what you need it to say. Because honestly, just in the past week, I had over 1,000 additional hits to my Facebook page for my business. So that's huge. And I know it's directly related to this book, because we've generated that much interest. So I think it's a big deal, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Awesome. And I say the same thing. I get quite a bit of hits throughout the day because of the types of businesses that I have, but it certainly has picked up in my, I can actually see on my phone when someone is on my website, and it goes off now quite frequently, especially when we do these podcasts or we do interviews. And so I know that presence is definitely something. Again, I've had to go in and clean up my website, make sure that some things are together as far as the internet presence. Like Tanise stated, just really stepping that up and getting ready. So I get it. And then maybe the same question to you. How are you preparing for your newfound visibility and expanding audience? Because it's happening, obviously, with 1,000 hits for one. I know that it's happening for everyone. So how are you handling that?
I'm handling it by preparation, starting with the foundation from the ground up. One thing, I've been talking to a lot of new business owners that don't have any experience with business and marketing and promotion, to try to, get them more in track from what I'm learning. So I'm trying to give back as well as learn myself, to try to streamline my focus with my business, specifically when I'm dealing with new people, what I want them to know about my business and what the goals are. So it's really giving me more of a laser focus for the future. Really, what I expect, even if I can't see it right now, what I expect for the future, and walking into it as if it has already happened. And so it's really giving me a focus and renewed spirit of what God has for me to do with the ministry.
Okay. And then for Kearn, I want to find out from you, what do you say to those who may be scared to participate in projects like this? Because this project is massive. You have people from all subject matter experts from all over, and I think sometimes people may be scared to put their things out there because they think they're going up head to head sometime with entities that they may really admire. I think mine might have been submitted, or I may have been about to submit mine when I realized Gloria Mayfield Banks was going to be in the book. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in a book with Gloria Mayfield Banks, just for me, just kind of, threw me off, So, and I'm very much an extrovert. So what do you say to those that are maybe scared to participate in projects like this, but it can be of benefit to them?
So, the biggest thing that I've been telling people right now, first of all, the reason why I tell people that I'm not, so to speak, writer, because there are a lot of people that they know there's something inside of them they want to share, but they're afraid. And so fear locks you down. And my goal is to encourage people to step out and to walk in faith. Take that chance, because the longer you sit on something, the longer you sit and wait, that opportunity passes you by. Now, it may come around again, but I feel like these collaborations creates a sense of family. We're all coming together, sharing our story. We're all joining in and promoting the book. Then we're all coming together to, get some assistance in what to do and how to promote yourself and create visibility. And to me, Paula, right now, this is the time to increase your visibility. This is the time. Whatever you're thinking, you want to right now increase your visibility and your personal brand, because you don't know what the future holds. I don't know what tomorrow holds, let alone down the road. But at the same time, you can level up right now your visibility in case, hey, I got a regular job, but my job isn't work. It may not work out, or they lay me off. I've already increased my brand, my visibility. I actually was looking at a movie, and I can't think of the name right now, that J-Lo was in. And, the people that hired her, they went straight to her Facebook site and all her social media site to see what she was doing. And so the bottom line is, it's essential now that we get a digital platform. And this book is part of that opportunity to be a part of something bigger than yourself. It's bigger than me because the women make it bigger than me. And so we all come together to bring these stories, to shed light on things that other people may get inspired to do. So for me, like I said, increasing your visibility and latching on to that, seizing the moment, I encourage people to join in collaborative projects, because you never know where those relationships in those collaborative projects may lead you to. And you never know who's going to see you. There are 29 women in our group. And just if you take the standard comment, one person knows 7 people, the other person knows 7 people. So 29 times 7, you multiply that, and then you take all the women who already have tried, like Gloria Mayfield Banks and Cheryl Wood and Teresa. You got massive amount of people who didn't know you, they now know you. So it's an opportunity. Book projects are an opportunity. So take advantage of them. Jump on board. It is worth it. I call it like your calling card. It's like a business card. So you can either send it out to people, sell it, whatever, but it's going to give you exposure that you didn't have. So it is truly an opportunity.
Awesome. And I like you talked about creating a sense of family, because you do feel like, Trailblazers Who Lead, we're family. We're celebrating each other's success all through the week and whatever someone is doing, both individually and collectively. And then what I like that you talked about is that this is your time to increase your visibility. So audience, everybody's sitting at home. Some people maybe have transitioned back to work, but then also it's summertime. Families are at home, kids are at home. People are actually spending more increased time digitally because they cannot necessarily necessarily go see people in person. We're still in the phase of social distancing. And so a digital presence is key. And then just from in my area of profession, and I cross over a lot between speaking, either in the beauty profession or just in the business profession in general as a subject matter expert on self-funding. Generally what happens is the first thing they ask me for is video or some type of digital media presence that I've had, because they're going to look and see the type of audience that you have, the type of platform that you have overall. And that's how you're selected. And it's also how you get to negotiate sometimes your pay at these events, or whether or not you're a keynote speaker or you're just on a panel or whatever that case may be. It still provides you some things for your portfolio that you will need along the way. So I do like the fact that you brought that up as well. Now, Kearn, you did indicate that we can expect a book signing. I know that you're still in the final phases of putting the finishing touches on the book. And so you said the end of June or maybe the top of July. But during the summit that you're having is going to be the actual book signing. So tell us a little more about that and what we can expect to see.
So the Power Up Summit, it's just what it says. It's time to power up. And power up your career, power up your business, power up your speaking, power up your coaching as an author. Career people, women or men that are transitioning into, something else or trying to start something else, in addition to what they're already doing. The whole purpose of that conference was to bring people together and look at some of the things that you can add, create multiple streams of income, diversify what you're doing so you're not dependent on one system. You want to be diversified, period. So that being said, we're bringing in some powerhouses. Oh my God, I just landed one yesterday. Delano Johnson, who was the former chief marketing officer for Toys R Us, is coming into Biloxi, Mississippi to be one of our keynotes at the conference. He's also going to participate in our virtual, which will be June 24th and 25th. But the Power Up Summit is in Biloxi. It is at the Biloxi Civic Center, July the 24th through the 26th. And our Trailblazers will be highlighted, not only with a book signing, but also we will have some of the ladies, some of them have joined my Speaker Edition magazine. So some of them are going to be featured on a panel talking about this book, these chapters that are in this book. Because people need to understand, trailblazers, people that are truly trailblazers, they're not just visionary people or people out front, but they're also people that not only are doing amazing things, but their contribution needs to be heard. And you will find that they're impacting the world, whether it's on a small or a large basis. So I want to feature some of them at the conference, during the conference at July the 24th through the 26th here in Biloxi, Mississippi. So it's one of the few live events across the world. There aren't that many events. So for speakers and people like this is truly going to be an opportunity to actually be in person. And yes, we will be respecting social distancing, but we will have some businesses being featured as well. But again, the biggest part is, for me, the Trailblazers Who Lead will be featured, and their book signing will be at the conference.
Awesome. Now, when the book comes out, because of course everybody's like, where's the book? What is the book? So when the book does come out, where can people expect to get the book at?
Well, of course, we'll have our bestseller campaign. We'll post on Amazon, and each author will be able to get their own and get it out to each other as well. Right now, there is a website being created just to promote the book as well, so people can go there and buy it. But of course, for my authors, they're going to want to buy it straight from them. So if they want to get more information directly from me, they can email me at Kearn at PRN Home Care Services as well. Or they can find me on any of my websites, powerupsummit.com. They can also link into successconference.com, which is going virtual this year. We're going virtual, y'all. Big and a lot of great speakers, but we're too big to be in person, so we're going virtual. And that'll be mid-September. You'll hear more about that as well. Or you can go to my personal website, KearnCherry.com as well. So all those will have links. And you can just, like I said, you can ask, and I'll reach out back to you as far as the book.
Great. Well, audience, as you heard it first. First and foremost, all of the authors will have ways for you to get the books directly from them, as well as there are multiple website outlets that you will be able to participate in and actually get the book. And I say that you support. This is a really big project. This is a lot of women. Often it's said that women cannot work together. I can honestly say we haven't had not one snafu. So that speaks a lot to the integrity of these women and their heart and their desire to be able to share with you. And we all had, even though we don't know each other all personally, the biggest thing that we all have in common is that we're all givers and we all believe in serving the community. First of all, it's amazing to have so many contributors. Know, ladies, that you all are leaders, and you all are, in fact, Trailblazers Who Lead. Kearn, I just personally, and I'm sure I speak for all of the women that are participating in the project, that we cannot thank you enough for your vision, for your positivity, for your organized effort, because sometimes doing big projects, it can get really disorganized. But your project has been absolutely amazing to be a part of, to work on. It's consistent. You're considerate. Your time frames are reasonable. And I think that we all, and the fact that you have been such a giver and elevating the other women and not just putting yourself out in the forefront also speaks to your type of leadership that is to be honored and respected. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
So thank you, Paula, for having us as well. We really do appreciate you taking the time and talking with us as well and allowing us to share and pour into people who are listening to this as well. So thank you.
No worries. This is what Stiletto Talks is all about. Stiletto Talks is about building up women. Stiletto Talks is about us speaking our truth. Stiletto Talks is about the walk. A lot of time we always say that people often see the glory, but you don't know the story. And so that's what we bring women on for, to tell their story, to tell their truth. And you're going to find that Trailblazers Who Lead is indeed in alignment with what we bring here to the Stiletto Talks podcast by providing that truth, providing that clarity and transparency. And we certainly want to honor these ladies, all of the participants within the project, by supporting, because we all rise by lifting others, and we are certainly going to need that lifting for this project. And we all thank you in advance for doing so. Now, again, if you love what you have heard today, please share the Stiletto Talks podcast. You can find it always on iTunes and Google Google Play. You can also find it on Podbean under the Stiletto Talks podcast, podbean.com. And again, ladies, thank you all for being such amazing participants on the show. I look forward to reading each and every chapter and learning more about you. Of course, we see your smiling faces. I see your Facebook posts daily and your positive affirmations, but I get to learn more about the sisterhood that I now belong to as a co-author with this project. So thank you all so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
And as always, thank you so much. Oh, and I forgot to tell you all, look, we got a website. So the Stiletto Talks is growing all over. And we have a website now exclusively just for the Stiletto Talks. So you can find all sorts of resources for small business, highlighting Women of the Week. If you think you want to be a woman that is writing a column for us or anything of that nature, just stay tuned to that website and actually sign up for it at www.thestilettotalks.com. So have a great morning, afternoon, or weekend, everyone.